You ever see someone walk into a room so sure of themselves you'd think the place was built just for them? That's exactly how Loretta Pike blew into the Foxglove Landing post office one Tuesday morning. Blue post office dolly rolling behind her, like she was some kind of royalty. She stops dead in the middle of the lobby, plants her feet, slaps a laminated badge on the counter. Comic Sans font, can you believe it? And in her best Sunday school teacher voice, declares, "All HOA mail goes through me." The whole place just froze, like even the postage stamps needed a second to process what was happening. Then, without even looking up, Postmaster Indira Patel just reaches under the counter, hits a button, and, bam, a steel shutter drops over the window like something out of a spy movie. Over the speaker, Indira's voice comes out, cold, steady. "Ma'am, step away from federal property." You could have heard a pin drop. Loretta, of course, tries to dive for the outgoing mail bin, but Indira's already on the phone, totally unbothered, saying, "Postal inspectors, please." So, let me back up a sec. I'm Graham Teller. I'm not here for drama. I like things quiet. I work as a systems analyst, live in a modest ranch with a fig tree that honestly has more chill than anyone in my HOA. And if I could spreadsheet my entire life, I probably would. I keep to myself. Or I used to, before Loretta rolled in with her helmet hair and pearls, and a binder full of citations ready to go. The minute she got elected as HOA president, the mail started coming. Envelopes with complaints so specific, it was like she was running her own reality show. Your trash can lid was at the wrong angle at 7:03 p.m. Your porch light feels emotionally cold. You get the idea. Then came the Loretta solution. She declared that all HOA mail needed curation and approval. At first, we all laughed, like really? But Loretta didn't laugh. She zip-tied signs to the cluster mailbox, announced that all mail had to be presented to her for quality control, and started camping out at the kiosk at 3 p.m. sharp with a clipboard, taking notes like she was studying for her own bar exam. She flagged packages with neon stickers, "Return to sender, not community approved." She actually told a new neighbor that first-class mail was optional, depending on community vibes. But she wasn't done. She made a color-coded system for all this. Yellow for pending review, orange for community concern, and red for, well, who knows, maybe exorcism. I saw her once spend 45 minutes flipping through a Williams-Sonoma catalog addressed to the Johnsons, muttering about how these choices reflect poorly on property values. The props kept coming. First, a folding chair measured exactly 18 inches from the mailbox, then a cash box for a processing fee no one had agreed to, then a megaphone, which she used to announce mail arrival times. She started live streaming as Community Postal Guardian, which, by the way, got her a grand total of 7 followers, 6 of whom were there just to collect evidence. She even installed a Ring doorbell camera on a pole beside the mailboxes, claiming it was for security. But really, she wanted to see who was getting wine club deliveries or those meal kits she thought were too fancy for us middle-class folks. I kid you not. One day my neighbor caught her on her knees by the mailbox panel, palms pressed to the metal like she was trying to manifest an open slot, with a set of lockpicks she claimed were for community emergencies. When called out, she insisted it was a security audit. The next morning, a handful of us mysteriously stopped getting HOA statements or pool key updates. Meanwhile, the rumor mill, all Loretta, of course, started up, saying I was running a side hustle because I got 2 Amazon envelopes a week, and, horror of horrors, the occasional book. She started a neighborhood watch for suspicious mail, meaning just her and Deborah from 2 doors down, scribbling notes about everyone's delivery frequency. When she found out I subscribed to 3 magazines, she called it borderline hoarding. Honestly, you can't make this stuff up. Things went off the rails when Loretta strutted into the Cedar Quay post office with a stack of forms. She'd photocopied PS Form 8007 times, each with Foxglove Landing Community, scribbled where our actual names should go. Topped it off with a letter naming herself as authorized agent for all HOA households, signed by the so-called Board of Excellence, which, turns out, was just her signature in 3 different colored pens. She demanded that the staff hold any envelope marked HOA or mentioning community business and deliver all parcels to her for compliance vetting. Indira Patel, queen of side-eye, barely glances at the paperwork before asking, Where are the individual authorizations from each resident? Loretta taps her badge like she's Gandalf or something and says, right here. Indira, still stone-faced, looks straight into the security camera, hits the shutter again, and dials the inspection service, never breaking eye contact. Across town, I walked into the post office, nearly tripped over Loretta's dolly loaded up with other people's mail. Looked like a dragon's hoard made entirely of Bed Bath and Beyond coupons and credit card offers. The next morning, 2 postal inspectors in perfectly pressed shirts showed up, plus a local cop, mostly there for comic relief. They separate Loretta from her dolly, like taking away scissors from a kindergartner. Inspector Reyes Redcom starts reciting sections of Title 18, U.S. Code, obstruction, delay, theft, tampering. You name it, Loretta hit the bingo card. Indira's in the back, printing screenshots of Loretta's forms, highlighting violations with the energy of a teacher grading a failing exam. The inspectors review lobby footage. There's Loretta, rifling through other people's mail, snapping selfies with small parcels like she's at a tourist attraction, trying to jimmy the outgoing mail slot like it's a vending machine that owes her a Coke. When asked who authorized her to collect mail, she says, the community did. When asked which community members, she just says, mine, like that's a real answer. The cop coughs into his sleeve to hide a laugh. They inventory the whole dolly, bag the forged forms like evidence from CSI, and invite Loretta for a seated conversation in the back room, where the chairs are designed to make you instantly regret your life choices. That night, the HOA meeting is standing room only. People I haven't seen in years show up with lawn chairs, coffee, the works. I bring a giant bowl of popcorn and, because I'm petty, a printout of the official USPS poster about tampering with the mail, 5 years in prison, bold type. I also bring screenshots of Loretta's live streams, timestamps and geotags, basically her own video confession. Inspector Reyes reads a cease and desist order to the room. 12 pages, subsections, footnotes, the whole 9 yards. There's a referral to the U.S. Attorney for charges, mail theft, obstruction, conspiracy. He warns that any more curation attempts will mean immediate federal charges and at least 6 months behind bars. Then, the real gut punch. Neighbors stand up and share what Loretta's antics cost them. One guy's diabetes meds delayed a week. He ended up in the ER. A woman's immigration paperwork bounced back, vibes not aligned. She almost missed her green card renewal deadline. Someone's grandmother missed the birth announcement of her great-grandchild because Loretta decided the photos weren't community relevant. A local business lost a $20,000 contract because the mail was held up. A veteran's VA benefits paperwork got delayed. His disability payments cut off for 2 months. Insurance pipes up. If the HOA gets sued for this, the board members are personally on the hook. The board doesn't even blink. Loretta's out, 7-0, before the microphone cools down. The city attorney announces $15,000 in fines, plus $5,000 for each proven mail theft. That's another $35,000. The postmaster slaps a restraining order on Loretta. She can't go within 20 feet of a mail kiosk, distance marked in orange chalk like a crime scene. Her face cycles through every shade of red before landing on a kind of purple you don't see outside of cartoons. And just when you think it's over, the judge sentences her to 160 hours of community service at the post office, under Indira's watchful eye, sorting undeliverable mail and learning real postal regs. No prison time, for now. But if she even so much as thinks about violating that order, it's 5 years, federal prison, no questions asked. The fines are due in 30 days, and when Loretta says she can't pay, the city attorney's all smiles. We can set up a payment plan at a modest 18% interest. Oh, and her beloved real estate license? Suspended, pending state board review. So there she stands, mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water, finally realizing her house of cards just blew over in a hurricane. But here's the kicker. People are still arguing in the lobby about whether the HOA needs stricter rules or fewer busybodies, and I can already see next month's agenda is going to be fireworks. What would you have done? Was justice served, or did we just swap one kind of crazy for another? Drop your thoughts below. Do you think HOAs go too far? Or do communities need watchdogs like Loretta? Hit that comment button. Let's get a real debate going.